Our 90-day all-access package is always incredibly popular at the start of football, but we've made it even better. Not only do we discount the 90-day all-access package to $7.99, but until August 29th, we've added 30 days. That's right, until Sunday, August 29th, you get 120 days of the most action-packed sports month for only $7.99. That would include the rest of the NFL preseason, all MLB plays through the World Series, the entire college football regular season, at least 15 weeks of the NFL, over 2 months of the NHL and NBA, over 6 weeks of college basketball, plus any soccer, UFC, Asian baseball, Asian basketball, golf, and any other sports your favorite capper releases. The most action-filled 120 days of the sports year are yours for only $7.99.
Welcome, everybody, to WagerTalk Today. Teddy covers with us. Lawrence Presman here. Steve Merrill hosted yesterday. Shout out to Steve. Teddy always hosts. You don't miss very many days. I mean, you missed like 3 weeks in the summer, but other than that, we can always count on you, Teddy.
Well, there's nothing to do, man. I mean, I'm here, I'm working. You're going to come do this show. In the summertime, when there's time to take off, you take a little bit of time off, but I'll be here. I expect to be here every day, at least till Thanksgiving, Prez, and probably through the end of the year, unless I get sick.
Great show today. 3 guests, Jimmy Adams right off the top, Fresno State, UConn, Diamondbacks, and Pirates. That's going to be a barn burner. Winner wins it all. And then Tokyo Brandon. Man, Tokyo Brandon, Teddy, it's like every time this guy comes on, he's on a ridiculous winning streak, except every day he's on a ridiculous winning streak. His numbers are unbelievable. We'll talk about that later. He's going to look at a couple of Japanese baseball games. And then, of course, Dave Sharapan. What do you got going? What did you learn last night in the wonderful world of sports?
So let's talk about Monday Night Football. And it's great to be on the show talking about Monday Night Football. Now, the first week in offense looked inept. You don't overreact. The Jags completely inept on offense in week 1, a game where they were never in it, and blown off the line of scrimmage. In the second week in the preseason, when an offense looks inept and they're clearly trying. I mean, yeah, the Jags played without a couple starting linemen. They did play without DJ Shark, starting wide receiver. But it's the second straight week that Jacksonville's offense couldn't do anything. And it's the second straight week where their offensive line was absolutely blown off the line of scrimmage. Now, there are mitigating circumstances, all right? The Browns and the Saints, the two teams they faced, both are strong on the defensive line, real strong. So maybe we're overreacting, or maybe the market's going to overreact to what we've seen from the Jags in the first 2 preseason games. That being said, right now, as we speak, Jacksonville is still -3 on the road in week 1 of the regular season. That line cannot hold, and it won't hold. So if you want to take the +3, I would grab that sooner rather than later. And don't call that a bad beat on the under, all right? Bad beat on the side, yeah, pretty brutal. An 18-0 fourth quarter in a game that was dominated by the Saints. They're in a 23-3 into 23-3 in a 23-21 final. But the total, I had the over last night. The over couldn't have been more right. The two teams combined for 100 pass attempts in a preseason game. Okay, 100 dropbacks. Sorry, when there was only 96 pass attempts, there were also 4 sacks. But there were the red zone failures and the missed field goals, the missed extra points, and Minshew throwing picks. And all of a sudden the under looks dead. The fact that it got there late in the fourth with those 2 late Jags scores, yeah, it certainly was tough if you had the under in that ballgame, but the under was not the right side. That game was over-paced throughout. And frankly, if you thought that was a bad beat, you didn't pay attention to MLB last night. 6 games, D-backs bad beat, D-backs under bad beat, Rockies bad beat, Rockies under bad beat, A's bad beat. Plenty of bad beats in MLB last night, Mr. Prez. What about you?
Well, I just want to ask you a question, Teddy, in regards to what you were talking about. Is it a surprise to you that the Jags offense is out of sync? I mean, are you expecting this juggernaut to put up 31 points a game this year?
No, absolutely not. However, there's a difference between looking bad and looking inept. And the Jags, when your offensive line cannot block, your offense doesn't work. And it's 2 games in a row. The Jags offensive line, literally, their defenders in the backfield on every play. So it's an issue.
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to struggle all year, and we're going to talk about that this week because we're going to do that AFC preview. We're going to be starting again tomorrow. Let's bring Jimmy Adams in. Jimmy, it's $2 Tuesdays. You, my friend, are the $2 handicapper over at WagerTalk. We have 2 $2 Tuesday handicappers at WagerTalk, both on the show today. Jimmy, first off, and we'll get into your streaks, your runs, your games, etc. You have been moved from Sports Memo to WagerTalk. Did you do a dance? Make love tonight? What?
I was pretty stoked. I'm super happy to be working with the best in the biz. I mean, we have great handicappers over at Sports Memo as well, but to be moved over, I was thrilled.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Wager Talk. And yeah, dude, I mean, the handicappers at Sports Memo are incredible. Amazing team. But welcome to Wager Talk, and we'll have you as a regular on the show. We love having you. Teddy and I need some youth in our life. Prefer the other gender, but we'll take what we can get. Jimmy, you're the $2 Tuesday handicapper at Wager Talk. You are on a 6-1 in the NFL preseason, 4-1 MLB run, and most importantly, because we all go on streaks, 60% win percentage the last 3 months, give or take, of baseball. So congratulations. Really, really outstanding numbers. You are the $2 Tuesday guy. So people head over to Wager Talk. He's got a $2 Tuesday baseball play up, and obviously it only costs $2. Brother, let's start with Fresno State against UConn. And we have spoken about this game before. UConn missed all of last season. Line is minus 27.5, and it's really held there for at least a week or so. How do you suggest we bet this game?
Yeah, so first I want to touch on college football being a very different handicap than the NFL in the sense that laying chalk in college early on in the season can be beneficial, and whereas in the NFL, you'll rarely see me lay more than a touchdown. That being said, a first half play is probably the way to go in this one. When it opens up, it'll probably open around 17, 18, something like that. But we start with UConn, as you mentioned, didn't play in 2020. Can't do anything but hurt this program, in my opinion. If anything, they may be able to run the ball okay, but doubtful in this one, as I expect Fresno's defense to be much better. The offensive line was really bad in 2019. Have they developed? Probably not. A lot of transfers, and they weren't very talented to begin with. So you got Kalen DeBoer entering his second season over at Fresno State. He had a great offense. The offense is going to be able to name the score in this one, do whatever they want. Jake Hayner returning at quarterback, Ronnie Rivers returning at running back, and what is a very deep backfield for Fresno. Nine starters return on both offense and defense, if my numbers are correct. And I think that Fresno at home, UConn's also having to travel all the way across the country farther than any team. How much impact that'll have? Probably not a lot, but it certainly doesn't help. So I'm looking at Fresno and laying the points, probably with a first half wager.
So I want to ask you this about the book, because certainly on paper, UConn's going to have a tough time in this ballgame. But Fresno is not a team with any history of winning games by 4 touchdowns or more. I think the last time they won a game by this margin was 2018. And they had an okay year last year. The offense was good, but the defense certainly wasn't good enough to put them in position to be winning games by 4 touchdowns. Do you worry about laying this type of price? And I'm with you conceptually. I love laying points early in the season in college football. I do, because the market spent all summer looking for underdogs that they like. In week 1, week 2, you can find some nice favorites that are going to smack somebody. So conceptually, I'm with you. But is Fresno the type of team that A, is going to build a 5-touchdown lead, and then B, hold it for that last drive or two down the stretch?
Right. So great points made. And that's why I'm really going to look towards the first half wager is I don't want to get burned by that backdoor cover. I think the offense is going to be maybe even better than they were last year, and they were really good. It's weird to say that Fresno State may be a surprise in the Mountain West. You got your juggernaut, Boise State. You got Nevada, who's going to be a great team. I wouldn't be surprised if Fresno creeps up and takes that 3rd spot. And then it's a huge fade to UConn, who I just think is an abysmal program and well, maybe even worse than they were in 2019, the last time we saw them, in Randy Edsall's second tenure here with the Huskies. So a fade of UConn.
Jimmy Adams, everybody, welcome to Wager Talk Today. You guys, great show. Tokyo Brandon still coming up. Dave Sharapan with us as well today. If you don't mind, please just kindly lean on that like button. Thank you very much. Jimmy, Arizona, Pittsburgh. Look, we're talking about just a matchup that no one can miss. Bumgarner on the mound tonight. If there's a bright spot in Arizona, it's probably the sun. 7-7 record of play against Brubaker, 4-13. What the hell do we do in this mess of a game?
Yeah, so maybe not the game of the day, but cashing tickets is cashing tickets. So we're going to look to the D-backs in this one. Arizona takes a tough 6-5 loss yesterday. They were leading for most of the game. They've still won 7 of 11, including sweeping the Phillies, and they took 3 of 4 from the Padres. I'm interested to get Teddy's take on this, but Madison Bumgarner has actually kind of become a bet-on pitcher down the stretch, totally turned his season around since the All-Star break. Last time out, 3 hits in 8 innings against the Phillies, and now he hasn't allowed more than 2 earned runs in his last 7 starts. Kind of a bet-on guy in Arizona. Really been playing decent ball the last few weeks. Then we move over to Pittsburgh, and JT Brubaker is the worst ROI pitcher in all of baseball. Guy's been absolutely abysmal. 4-13, 5.49 ERA. Last time out, how about 7 earned runs in just 4 innings pitched? And it doesn't get any better if you go down the line. So 7 runs last time out, 5 runs allowed to start before that, 9 runs to start before that. And if all that's not enough to get you on the D-backs, the Pirates have lost 6 of 9 and 14 of their last 18 games. You're getting a pretty reasonable price here, so I'll recommend a play on the D-backs tonight.
So certainly it's hard for me to make a case in this pitching matchup to even look at the Pirates side in this ballgame. But Pittsburgh did rally from behind to win the game last night. Arizona, again, you're talking about a team that's played .333 baseball this year and worse than that on the highway. When you look at the D-backs road struggles, even with Mad Bum on the hill, does that concern you in this matchup? Because it's one of these games where it's a pick 'em price, and I haven't heard anybody say anything positive about Pittsburgh for this game, and that's one of those head scratchers for me. Why is this number where it is?
So it does not concern me, and here's why. So they've taken the other 3 meetings against the Pirates this season prior to last night, and I believe that they've taken the last 10 meetings in Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not super concerned with the D-backs on the road. And even if that wasn't the case, the Pirates just an absolutely abysmal team right now. So I think you can fade them at the current price.
Jimmy Adams, anything to promote other than the $2 Tuesday?
Yeah, we got obviously the $2 capper over at WagerTalk. We got all kinds of great specials right now. If you haven't heard, $7.99 for 120 days. You're getting 30 days free. We're going to have some 5% best plays up in football for this weekend. off to a 6-1 NFL preseason start with 1 week to go. So let's keep cashing tickets.
There you go, guys. The promo Jimmy Adams is talking about, get 30 days free for 120 days a pick. So you buy 90-day all access pass, which has been discounted already, and we add 30 days to that. That promotion, which is doing exceptionally well, expires Sunday, August 29th. So please, please, please make sure to take advantage of that. Jimmy, outstanding work today, man. Love having you on the show. Thrilled you're on the website. And we'll see you in the next week or two. Be well, brother. Guys, stay with us. Teddy's Big Game Breakdown, Tokyo Brandon, Dave Sharapan, the Daily Presidential Address. This show has just begun.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. Let's talk about the Braves and the Yankees. We've seen a bunch of money coming on Atlanta, basically over the course of the last 20 minutes since the show started. Right now, looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen, I'm seeing the Braves in the minus 150 range. Of course, I'm not. I'm looking at the first 5 inning lines. Dumbass. Let's try that again. We're seeing the Braves right where they've been at minus 135. What'd you say in my ear? I'm sorry.
Dumbass alert.
Yeah.
I got a chance to correct you. I'm jumping in the middle of your damn segment to do that.
By all means. Let's try that one more time. It's time for today's big game breakdown. Let's talk about the Yankees and the Braves. Right now, look at the WagerTalk live odds screen. I'm seeing the Yankees, the Braves at minus 135. There are some minus 140s out there. The number for Atlanta on the first 5 inning line, a little bit higher than that. The markets clearly think the pitching matchup of Morton versus Haney favors Atlanta. I'm not convinced that's the case. All right, this is a Yankees team that's now won 10 in a row. They just snapped Atlanta's 9-game winning streak last night and controlled the game. Their big bats are hitting. Giancarlo Stanton, red hot right now. Aaron Judge, red hot right now. Here's Aaron Boone talking about it. Quote, hopefully, that's where we can start to do more and more. The weight of the lineup, the quality of the at-bats up and down. You're not always going to break through the first time, the second time in a given game. But the more we can have these quality at-bats time and time again, you give yourself a chance to break through and have the big inning. And that's what the Yankees have been able to do of late. Meanwhile, Haney is a guy whose season-long stats aren't good. He got to the Bronx. All of a sudden, he's pitching a little bit better. Last time out, a dominant effort against the Red Sox, arguably one of his best starts of the season. I think there's bet on with Andrew Haney right now. And, of course, if we get into the bullpens, Chapman pitching a perfect inning last night. Yankees pen as good or better than any in baseball. Atlanta, not so much. So plus price with the Yankees, count me as interested. New York Yankees are the big game, are the clear choice here for today's big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Thanks, Teddy. And while we disagree on that one, I'll be giving out the Braves in the daily presidential address, but that's okay, man. Brandon, Tokyo Brandon. Dude, I mean, I don't even know where to begin with you. Like, why don't you just tell us your streaks? I mean, it's just like never freaking ending. Yeah, well, I guess... Brandon, I don't know if you're there, but is this real? You're on a... No, it's a 13-2 run. Brandon, in your write-up on WagerTalk, it says you're on a 31-2 run. You need to swap the 1 and the 3. But still, 13-2 is incredible. We will need your microphone to work today. But guys, Brandon is also the $2 Tuesday handicapper. He's on a 13-2 2-run. He's winning 60% of his Asian baseball plays
Can you
this
hear me?
season. I can now. And
Okay.
he's got
Sorry.
an Asian baseball play up tonight. I don't know why. I'm an Asian baseball play. I mean, it's like, is that racist or not? I don't even know. Like, can't
No,
it
it's
just
not
be
racist at
baseball?
all. Asians know they're Asian.
Okay, well, after you're done, maybe we can talk Caucasian baseball.
Sure.
Wait,
Sounds
Asian
good. We can
it
talk
just doesn't
Hispanic
sound-
baseball too, if you wish. If
it
you'd
doesn't
like, that would be
sound right
great.
to me. It
What's
doesn't
that?
feel right. Asian baseball. I don't like it. How about baseball played in Asia?
It's funny because America has become so sensitive and soft that what seems offensive
We're
to
not
Americans
going
is
there.
not actually.
Brandon,
is
let's
not
move on. Let's move on. Let me give you your streaks. 13, second most profitable handicapper at WagerTalk in 2021 on a 13-2 run. Your Korean baseball, 63.5% on the season. That is nuts. Japanese baseball, 59.3% on the season. It's just outstanding stuff, man. I mean, we are so lucky to have you over here. Congrats on your incredible success.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
you are.
I'm very happy to be on the team. Started in November. Having a good year. I'm about plus 100 units in 2021. 59% in Japanese baseball, 62% in Korean baseball on a 13-2 run right now. And before that, I was on a 20-5 run. And then I had one bad day in there. So between the two runs. So yeah, it's going quite well right now.
We all have bad days, bro. Teddy has one every day. He wakes up and has to do a show with me.
He never has a bad hair day, though.
It doesn't move. Teddy, your hair never moves. You've got like helmet hair. Like right now, Teddy has bed hair. And
you know who never
hair.
has a bad hair day is Gianni.
No, Gianni has a great hair day and an excellent teeth day.
Teeth day,
anyway,
exactly.
Yeah. I got a really good left cheek day going. Chunichi Dragons at Yakult Swallows. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, Chunichi Dragons, Yakult Swallows.
I mean, I'm telling you flat out, the Swallows are my favorite team in the world. It is the greatest name in the history of sport.
This is the Yakult Swallows hat. YS is Yakult Swallows. So.
Are we? I don't know these teams. Are we talking women's baseball right now?
No, we are not. We're talking Japanese professional baseball.
I mean, if you're going to be like the something Swallows, I'm thinking women's baseball team.
Hey.
Anyway, what do we do in this game, dude?
You say let's move on about my topic, but you're going to talk about swallowing.
I'm the host.
No, okay. Okay. Chunichi Dragons are the biggest under team in Japanese baseball. As a matter of fact, 63% of their games go under 8 runs. And Chunichi and Yakult, when they play together, are 12-3 to the under. So I took a look at this line this morning, and it was 8.5 runs. That's way too high, I think, for this game. The Chunichi pitcher, his name's Matsuba. He's not very good. And Yakult is one of the best hitting teams in the league. But I think this is worth a 1% play, a small play on the under 8.5, because Chunichi games almost never go over 8.
Well, let's talk about the Yokohama Bay Stars at the Hanshin Tigers. And this is
Teddy, very nice.
All I know.
Yeah, man.
Does it worry you that the Yokohama lineup has been producing runs lately at about the same pace as Hanshin? Because Hanshin has been a more potent lineup for much of the season. Tell me about it, Brandon.
How do you know this?
Wait.
Time out.
Teddy, I'm
Did
impressed.
Brandon send you notes and not me?
Oh, no, of course not. I've been researching the Japanese baseball all night. Yes, Brandon sent me notes.
Brandon, you sent him notes. You didn't send me notes. What the hell, man? I don't know this damn sport. I thought the Swallows was a female team.
Teddy is a professional, Prez.
Go ahead.
The second game I'd like to talk about is actually I did send Teddy the notes that I sent you, Prez, that I would be talking about this game, but I'm impressed with his extra knowledge on that. That's very good.
So am I.
Yokohama Bay Stars and the Hanshin Tigers are playing. Two really good pitchers here. But the Hanshin Tigers are number one in Japanese baseball for first 5 run production. And I like the Hanshin Tigers pitcher Ito a little bit better than I like Onuki for the Bay Stars. So I'm going to make a small play on the Hanshin Tigers first 5 money line as well. Those are both smaller plays, but I do like those plays. Not as much as my $2 play, but I do like those plays. I'm putting a small shekel or 2 on both of those games.
Well, yeah. So guys, if you're putting a shekel on any games, that equates to about 1 penny. Tokyo
That's
Brandon,
my betting
thanks,
lingo.
dude.
I say I put a couple shekels on it.
Dude, listen, speaking of shekels, I'm watching Hit and Run on Netflix by the same people who did Fauda. Oh my God. Guys, it's a masterpiece. Make sure to check that out. It's unbelievable. It's like Teddy talking Japanese baseball. Guys, make sure to grab Tokyo Brandon's $2 Tuesday play, 13-2 run. Head over to WagerTalk. We have Jimmy Adams with $2 Tuesday play, Tokyo Brandon with a $2 Tuesday play, and also Brandon and Teddy. We got a $2 guy over at Sports Memo, except the notes that were sent me doesn't have that person's name, so we'll come back to that. Anyway, I'm an idiot. Get out of here, Brandon. Thanks for joining us, and we will have you. I thought I did promote something. But go ahead. Go ahead. Promote.
My $2 play. My $2 play today is a 4% best bet, and I really like it. So please go grab that. Also, WagerTalk has set up a rest of 2021 special for all of my plays until the end of 2021 for $3.99. So you can grab that on my page at WagerTalk too.
Yeah. There you go. And Dr. Chuck is the $2 Tuesday handicapper over at Sports Memo, and he has been absolutely rolling in baseball. So check him out. Brandon, we're going to have you on throughout the football season. It will be sparingly, as football is football, sure, but we will not forget about you. That I promise. Second most profitable handicapper at WagerTalk. We love having you on this show. Be well, brother.
Dave in those golf plays just knocked me down.
What?
Dave with the golf plays knocked me off the perch.
Yeah. Coca hit an 80-1, and that's a nice ROI for his clients. And then he hit another big long shot.
He knocked me off my perch.
Listen, being second behind Dave Koken is still an incredible feat.
He's a legend.
Yeah, be proud of yourself. Get out of here, man. We got Dave Sharapan joining us, Teddy. And what are we going to ask Dave? What are we going to talk to Dave about?
NFL and college football and Major League Baseball.
You don't want to talk about the Swallows?
We can. That can be your question.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Dave, what do you like about the Swallows? He'd be like, who? Anyway. Where is Dave Sharapan, Mr. Producer Danielson? Oh, my God. Scheduled. There you go. You stay out of it, Teddy. Dave Sharapan, how are you, bro? Milwaukee Brewers hat with the straight brim, trying to feel like you're young again instead of curling the brim like us old guys? Welcome to the show.
I can't do it. I can't do it. The guys who sent me the hats said there's dad hats, and then there's regular hats. And he said, you got hat swag. Don't touch the hats. Just take them out and put them on. So the kids say it's cool. That's what I do. Trying to keep, all the drama out of my life, and literally cannot wait to talk to you every Tuesday.
Well, I'd like to get some drama back into your life. I don't think that hat looks very cool on you at all. And here's a nice bicep flex for you, bro. Look at that baby.
Thank you
Look at that,
so
baby.
much. I mean, the show really should start off every day with that, but you waiting until 9:30 to do it with me, much appreciated on my part.
Yeah, dude. I went hydrofoiling yesterday. Didn't think about you. Actually, haven't thought about you since last week, but that's a different story. Teddy, get some information out of this guy, would you?
It's
You don't
amazing.
even have one question, one sports question to even start it with. You
Let
just want
him
to talk
go.
about hydrofoiling.
Just let
Okay,
him.
I got a sports question.
Yes.
Fine. You want me to ask a sports question?
No,
Dave,
no,
what do you think
no,
of the
nobody really
Swallows?
does.
What do you think of the Swallows today?
You know, I thought you were asking me something different if you were going to ask me about the Swallows. I mean, seriously, I was really worried
Get
about
your
that.
head out of the gutter, man.
I mean, you got to defer to people that know more about those Swallows. But I thought you were going to ask me about the Swallows or picked another team in that league, and I was going to go Prez. Just throw it to Teddy, please.
Done. Teddy.
Yeah, here I am. Dave Sharapan, former sportsbook director for 20 plus years, and now gadfly about town.
Duh.
That's just a joke. Now a member of the press. Dave, I want to start asking you about the NFL preseason and how it affects the regular season betting markets. I think that's a clear takeaway off the last 2 weeks, because it feels like we're already seeing overreactions to performances in August. Based on your experience, is there anything that we see in August that is meaningful in September when it comes to these preseason games, or what teams show at this time of the year has absolutely nothing to do with what they're going to look like 3 weeks from now? Give me your thoughts on the NFL preseason, if it matters in terms of valuing these teams correctly.
So just last night, I was out, some people in from out of town, and a bunch of guys that work in books. And we all went out and we were talking about the Saints and the Jacksonville game and the backdoor cover and all of this stuff. And we were all laughing at how all of this stuff is now becoming so popular. And there's shows like, not just this one, but there's a million of them, and people are talking about what's happening in preseason and how it affects nothing. It affects absolutely nothing. It affects the way people bet, but it doesn't affect the odds maker's opinion, the book's opinion of any of it. I mean, I personally, Teddy, I didn't watch it. Like I specifically didn't watch it because I didn't want to cloud any work that I've done or, thoughts that I may have until the regular season when the games count. So, I mean, Allen Iverson said it best back in the day. We're talking about practice. Like the games are practice. We have to keep that in mind. They're competing for jobs. I respect what they're doing, but I'm not letting it affect anything that I really want to see when the games actually count.
So there are certainly teams that are viewing this as practice. Green Bay isn't playing starters, and the Rams aren't playing starters, and the Chargers aren't playing starters. The Seahawks haven't taken it seriously. And you can go on and on down the line of teams that haven't taken the preseason seriously this year and aren't going to. There are, however, a handful of teams who've been trying and failing, like the Jacksonville Jaguars. And again, the final score last night, not indicative of what that game was like. Jacksonville tried last night. They tried week one. They had starters on the field. They had starting offensive linemen on the field, and they still couldn't move the football. Do the markets react to that? Because I'm still seeing Jacksonville as 3-point road favorites in week one, and I've got the Jags ranked 31, my 32 power rating. So now, obviously, the team they're playing 32? Is ranked 32nd in my power rating. But
which team?
Houston. Houston's dead last. I've got Jacksonville with the Jets as 30 and 31. For those who are interested. But when you have a team that's trying in the preseason, does that affect the marketplace, or does the marketplace not make any difference between the teams that aren't trying and the teams that are trying, even if they're both failing?
I think it does week to week based on the noise and the stories and the narrative about who's trying and who's not. And year to year with a new coach. A new coach is always trying. I mean, no matter what, the new coach is trying more than the most of the veteran coaches in these established teams. But like, look at Baltimore. I mean, someone asked me yesterday, what do you do with Baltimore? I said, you know what I would do? If I was still in the room, I would stand up on the chair and say, guys, let's make history. Let's set the number at what it should be instead of what you guys keep putting up 3 and 4. Let's put up 7. And maybe Baltimore won't cover a game. Maybe we'll get bets on the dog. But nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to get off the market. Nobody wants to, because if you lose, then you're responsible, which I totally understand because I've been in those rooms and I don't want to veer off the market too much. But like, how do you explain Baltimore, Teddy? You can't. They cover every game. Harbaugh's trying every game. It's a sample size of 20 games. That's the last 6 preseasons. That's a lot. So like it's one of those things again. I think we can read into it what we want, but I would caution people that are just getting into this wagering deal, don't overreact just in general, but definitely don't overreact to anything that goes on in the preseason and try to carry that over to the regular season betting in the NFL. I don't know how Jacksonville's a 3-point favorite on the road. It don't make no sense at all.
And you say don't overreact, and yet every year the markets do react to the preseason. And every year we see win total numbers move. We see week 1 numbers move. We see numbers now with all 17 games for every team lined. We see an entire team's board over the course of the season move. Have you seen anything worth noting when it comes to legitimate line moves for the regular season or legitimate maybe changes of opinion about a team's chances in the regular season from these first 2 weeks of preseason action? Are we seeing the markets crash on the Bears? Are we seeing the markets explode on the Broncos who've looked good? Give me your thoughts on that, if there's any teams that stand out.
One for sure that's just happened in the last month is the Indianapolis Colts. Prior to the Wentz news or whatever, it was like everybody thought the Colts are a dark horse to win the Super Bowl, win their division. Then the Wentz news had the market overreact. Tennessee's division price shot up. Everybody's Colts price shot up. It was like, whoa, wait a second. Is it that big of a drop-off from Wentz to whomever's going to play? And I thought price is getting pretty good on the Colts, based on everything else they have working around them. They may get one of these guys to play okay. And then now the Wentz news is he's practicing, and it's back to where it was as a co-favorite to win the division. Like, what was that based off of? I have no idea. But that was a very volatile up, down, back and forth type, I was going to mention like cryptocurrency, so maybe we could see if Lawrence was still listening to the show. But I don't want to get him involved there.
Lawrence is too busy counting his cryptocurrency.
I knew that. I figured that. Denver's another one, Teddy. Like, what about somebody's looking to play somebody to unseat the Chiefs, right? Like, that's another one. Is it the Chargers? The Chargers numbers haven't really moved that much because they were pretty much set. But it's the Broncos. You're right. The Broncos are one of those teams that a lot of people are really taking a shot with it. They're going to win that division. And then the AFC North is just, again, we talked about it last week here on the show. Been talking about it with people on shows all week. Last week, because I'm from Pittsburgh and everybody's like, oh, look at this. The Browns roster is very good. We were debating this heated last night. Until the Browns actually do it, I think that's one of those kind of hot, trendy plays that they may win the division. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but a lot of people are betting them. A lot of people are betting the Browns to win the Super Bowl, win the AFC. I get it. Roster's great. Until you do it or get close to doing it like they did last year, they enter the conversation. But Baltimore's still a really good football team. we'll see what happens when they start playing.
Dave, I have the Browns ranked fourth in the AFC
in the league,
behind fourth in the AFC behind Kansas City, Tennessee, and Buffalo. But hey, that's why they're games to be played. Teddy, I don't need your face, man. Get the hell out of here. Dave, let's move to college football. I'm wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. Blah, blah, blah.
You're not wrong.
I'm not.
You're off market. That's all I'm saying.
I'm off market. Okay.
Yeah, you're allowed to be off market.
Dave, college football, man. Let's talk. We got 4 games going this Saturday. Illinois, Nebraska, UCLA, Hawaii, UTEP, New Mexico State, and the game we've spoken about a few times on the show, Fresno State, Connecticut. Man, there's line moves galore, but what else is new in college football? I mean, you get minus 9.5 for Nebraska. It's at 7. 14 for UCLA. There's an 18 on the board. I mean, we've had all summer for these lines to move, so it's somewhat irrelevant. But does any of these games jump out at you to bet? Any information you're getting? Anything you can help our listeners with?
I'm so surprised. We briefly touched on it last night with the boys, and the discussion was pretty simple. Like, what's going on with the UCLA game? Like, why is it just going? It's all being bet up. They're all just betting UCLA with LSU on deck next week. Like Marco's on the shows. He uses that sandwich game term thing, whatever. The line is already set next week. They have LSU at UCLA, and it's 4. So the move here is that they're playing UCLA because the number is going to change for the next week. So they're playing them this week to blow them out, which I've seen before. You just don't usually have lines on the next week's college games available. So I don't understand that one myself. And then, I mean, the other game is UTEP. UTEP's not a good football team. New Mexico State's a really bad football team. They're laying, it's up to 10 now. Not advocating a play on New Mexico State, but I think maybe don't play UTEP at this point. Like, just stay away from the game or take a shot with the dog because the number's too high. Like, you guys know, if you've missed a number, it's not worth taking a bad number just to get on that side, because a lot of times the good number wins and the bad number loses. So, those are the only 2 games that really, stuck out to me. We talked about the UConn-Fresno State game. That game is at 11 o'clock in the morning in Fresno. Everyone's going to melt. But the kids from UConn, I'm not sure if they've ever felt that heat, that inland California heat. That's going to be a tall task for them. I don't know how many points they're going to score. The game going under is probably more likely than picking a side in that one.
So it's funny, UTEP and New Mexico State, one of the more unheralded college football rivalries that nobody talks about. You want to talk about small school rivalries? This is a real one. But it's certainly not a rivalry for the national stage. Dave, before we let you go, I do want to ask you about today's MLB slate. Anything actionable for our viewers when you talk about today's baseball card? Where's the sharp money going? Where's the public money going? Anything you like? Give us a little baseball highlight for Tuesday night.
I'll tell you what, I wore the Brewers hat because Cincinnati is playing Milwaukee today, and Burns is pitching for Milwaukee, who, along with Walker Buehler, I think are the co-favorites for the NL Cy Young. Wow. You want to talk about a money line that seems way, way too high. And it's only going to go higher because Burns is pitching. But I think Cincinnati on the run line, plus a 1.5, like minus 110 or even money, I think that's a great play. And I think you'll see that number come back as the day goes on. I think the bad guys will come in on Cincinnati. Colorado at the Cubs, a game that's like both teams. I mean, Colorado has, I think, 12 wins on the season or something on the road, yet they're favored because the Cubs are so bad. and you saw it yesterday, right? The Cubs, the Cubs won. I think the Cubs as a home dog is live. Arizona and Pittsburgh, another terrible game. Terrible. Arizona's favored on the road. Can't understand it. The Pirates won yesterday. The Pirates are probably going to be very live today. So there's a couple dogs that I think are going to be. You'll see the later movement. Like they always wait on these games. They know where there's value on dogs. The matchup of the day is the Dodgers and the Padres. That's the game. I'll be watching that thing tonight. So the Dodgers or the Padres haven't named a pitcher yet. Just watch when they name a pitcher, and then play the Dodgers.
Yeah. Dave Sharapan, everybody. Guys, a real breaking news, irrelevant to the sports world, but Charlie Watts just passed away. Drummer for the Rolling Stones. That's an iconic person to leave this planet. So R.I.P. Mr.
Prez?
Watts. 80.
How old?
80 years old.
Wow, we're all getting old, man. It's crazy.
Well,
80.
you know, he was always a bunch older than the rest of the band. But anyway, rest in peace, Charlie, and thanks for all the hard work that man left an imprint on this planet. Guys, it's time for the daily presidential address. Let's go, Dave Sharapan. Thank you, brother. You are a legend. It's not even the right song, but man, it's all I think about when I hear that song. Guys, I got 3 free baseball plays to give out today. I just want to make mention. I've been absolutely rolling for 3 months of betting. So guys, please join me. Take advantage of my run. I'm on a 49-27 all sports run. I've killed it in baseball over the last couple of months. I got 1 baseball play up for my clients tonight. And I have an NFL week 1 play already up. And I'm telling you guys, the line is on a key number and it's going to move. So make sure to take advantage of that. Otherwise, great show at WagerTalk today. If you guys didn't see it, check it out on our YouTube channel, WagerTalk TV. We had Jimmy Adams, Tokyo Brandon, and Dave Sharapan joining us. It's also $2 Tuesday over at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. 3 free bets tonight. Real simple. I like the Arizona Diamondbacks. We heard Jimmy Adams take that game apart in great detail, and he likes the Arizona Diamondbacks as well. I like the Brewers, guys, over the total. Totally counterintuitive. I get it. You know, monster pitcher on the mound for Milwaukee and a really rock solid pitcher on the mound for Cincinnati. But both these bats are alive on both teams, and I think we're going to get there. So over 7.5. And unlike Teddy, I like the Atlanta Braves. That's it for me. What an incredible show. I got a Montreal smoked meat sandwich, extra mustard waiting for me. Teddy, take us home.
Yeah, that's a nice image. I can view with mustard all over your face. Good stuff, Prez. That's going to wrap it for the Tuesday edition of Wager Talk today. I want to thank all of our guests and all of our viewers for taking time out of their busy day to hang out with us. We'll do it again tomorrow, same time, same channel, right here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck.
Our 90-day all-access package is always incredibly popular at the start of football, but we've made it even better. Not only do we discount the 90-day all-access package to $7.99, but until August 29th, we've added 30 days. That's right, until Sunday, August 29th, you get 120 days of the most action-packed sports month for only $7.99. That would include the rest of the NFL preseason, all MLB plays through the World Series, the entire college football regular season, at least 15 weeks of the NFL, over 2 months of the NHL and NBA, over 6 weeks of college basketball, plus any soccer, UFC, Asian baseball, Asian basketball, golf, and any other sports your favorite capper releases. The most action-filled 120 days of the sports year are yours for only $7.99.